How does the UFC say no to Alexander Volkanovski? That's the question Dana White posed to the media after the conclusion of UFC 308 on Saturday at Etihad Arena. Following Ilia Topuria's impressive third-round knockout of Max Holloway at UFC 308, CEO Dana White highlighted Volk as a potential next challenger for the featherweight title. Volkanovski, the former featherweight champion, has been eager to reclaim his title. Volk is one of those guys. Dana told MMA Junkie, "We're not going to say no to Volkanovski." While other top contenders like UFC 308 backup fighter Diego Lopez have entered the title conversation, Dana suggested that Volkanovski's history as a reliable company man, always ready to step in and help the promotion in tough situations, has worked in his favor. This reputation could give Volk the edge as he seeks another shot at the featherweight title. "He's been that guy for us anytime we needed him," White said. "He's been on this run like Adesanya and like Alex Pereira is on right now. When things don't go our way and you've got to call a guy, Volk has always been that guy. He really was. For him to ask for it, I don't think anybody in this room is going, ugh, this is ridiculous or crazy. Who wouldn't want to see it again?" What do you think happens in the rematch? Can Volk show up this time as the prime version of himself and put on a clinic against the reigning champion Ilia Topuria? Or will El Matador's power be too much against the former champ? Leave your comments below. Khamzat Chimaev has no doubt he would slice through UFC middleweight champion Dricus du Plessis on the ground. Khamzat made a statement at UFC 308 by quickly submitting Robert Whittaker with a face crank in the first round of their middleweight showdown at Etihad Arena. Just 2 weeks prior, UFC CEO Dana White mentioned that du Plessis would face Sean Strickland in a rematch. However, during the post-fight news conference, he seemed hesitant to stick to that plan, leaving the door open for Chimaev, who is eager to step in for a title shot if the opportunity arises. "It doesn't matter Sean or Dricus, just going for the gold," Chimaev told reporters, "so we'll see what happens next. I'm ready." When asked about du Plessis' grappling, Khamzat quickly dismissed it. "What did I do with Rob, and what has Dricus done against Rob?" Chimaev said. "Rob took him down, so if Rob took him down, there is salam aleikum." If not a title shot, Khamzat said he'd be down to fight former UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya. "For me, Adesanya would be a good money fight because he has a big name," Chimaev said. "Sean Strickland, we've been in the gym. We have some stuff not done yet, so that would be good history as well." Ilia Topuria stopped Max Holloway at UFC 308, leaving no doubt that he's the real and deserving champion at 145. This KO left the MMA community stunned, as Max had never been knocked out in his career before. In a recent appearance, former UFC welterweight title challenger Gilbert Burns revealed a heated moment Ilia had with some of his sparring partners, one of them being Kamaru Usman. It's a known fact that Burns and Kamaru have trained for years. Gilbert has mentioned it numerous times that him and Usman have more than 200 hours together on the mat, saying he has been his main partner for years. In the interview, Gilbert revealed that when him and Usman were sparring, Ilia randomly visited their gym and sparred 3 of their best guys.
This guy came here to the gym, he did half of his camp against Josh Emmett here, and he knocked out 3 of my teammates. Out, not down, out, with the big gloves. With the big gloves. I'm gonna say that one more time. With the big gloves.
Jesus Christ.
Out. And then Topuria was in the middle with a high-level wrestler from freaking Dagestan. And that guy is so strong and good defense. And then he took the guy down. Dagestani wrestler. That's when I'm like, man, this guy can do it all. I just saw him knocking a couple guys out. And he's that strong and he can wrestle.
Kamaru, known for having intense sparring sessions in the gym, would not hesitate to stand and bang with El Matador. We have this video of Ilia and Kamaru doing light sparring. However, what happens behind the cameras is completely different. Dana White insists that Francis Ngannou is the last thing on his mind. Even though they haven't worked together in nearly 2 years, the UFC CEO and the former heavyweight champion can't seem to escape questions about each other. The latest drama kicked off when Dana mentioned wanting to cut Ngannou after his back-to-back losses in the UFC in 2018. Ngannou fired back, labeling White a bully and suggesting that the UFC boss is praying for his downfall. He also claimed that the UFC still owes him money promised after his victory victories over Cyril Gunn and Stipe. When have you ever heard a story in all the years we've been in business, even when it was upside down, where we owed somebody money? Never happened, White said about Ngannou's claims at the UFC 308 post-fight press conference. So he's full of shit there. Then I lost. I didn't lose anything. I was done with Francis after the Derek Lewis fight. Actually, he owes me money because we had to watch that fight with him and the Black Beast. He should actually pay me back for that fight and all of you, me praying for his downfall. Trust me, I don't think about Francis that much. You guys asked me the question about the PFL, and I responded. Other than that, the only one who's praying for his demise is probably the PFL because they signed a shitty contract with a guy that doesn't deliver any numbers in ticket sales or pay-per-views. They've got to keep paying this guy for however long, and good for him, not good for them. Someday, I'll tell you the story. I was all about Francis in the beginning, and then I found out who Francis was. White said, I told the two guys who asked me not to cut Francis, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Believe me, I have no sleepless nights over Francis leaving. I didn't like Francis as a person. It wasn't a guy I wanted to do business with. My boys were telling me he's misunderstood. I told them when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. It wasn't about him becoming heavyweight champion of the world. Francis isn't a good guy. He plays the good guy. I don't understand the language, so he seems like he's a nice guy. He's not, and he's just not a guy I wanted to be in business with, period. End of story, whether he became the champion or not. What's next for Max Holloway? While all the attention is on Ilia Topuria after his impressive victory, the legend Max Holloway deserves some time in the spotlight too. It's clear that Max's time in the featherweight division has come to an end. Having lost 3 times to Volkanovski and once to the current champ, his most logical next move would be to step up to lightweight. Having already beaten Justin Gaethje there, he should be in line for a high-profile fight at 155 pounds. He has a ton of options there. Max versus Dan Hooker, a trilogy with Dustin Poirier, maybe clash with Charles Oliveira, or even someone lower ranked but talented like Renato Moicano. In this fight against Ilia Topuria, Max Holloway demonstrated that he still possesses the skills and heart that made him a champion. He started strong, performing exceptionally well in the first 2 rounds. Max showcased his trademark striking, fluid combinations, sharp angles, and excellent footwork that kept Topuria at bay and allowed him to control the pace of the fight. His experience shone through as he evaded attacks and countered effectively, reminding fans why he is considered one of the best in the sport. However, Topuria proved to be a formidable opponent, displaying an impressive level of skill and tenacity. Despite Max's strong start, Topuria adapted quickly, finding ways to penetrate Holloway's defenses. Ultimately, he caught Max with a well-timed shot that shifted the momentum and changed the course of the fight. This moment highlighted the unpredictable nature of MMA, where one split second can turn a contest on its head. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for daily MMA news.